legs kind of chill out. And then our spine is kind of like a reed of grass that's kind of growing up from the cushion. So it's kind of flexible and open, but coming up straight. Our shoulders loose and hanging down off the spine. And our hands can be sitting on our thighs or can be sitting in our lap. And, you know, we can talk more about posture any other time, but any questions anyone's having or anyone struggling to be comfortable in posture? Okay, great. So we're going to start. We're going to do our usual start of just 33 deep inhales, quite fast in the mouth, hands coming sort of up and down, so the body's also moving here. And we're just going to sort of flush our system with fresh oxygen. And that helps us leave behind whatever we brought into the room and helps us also be alert and awake so that we don't fall asleep while we're meditating. So again, we're going to do 33 breaths. The last 3 breaths are going to be really slow. And then the final breath, we're going to breathe out and squeeze all the way out. Squeeze all the way out and squeeze with our belly, squeeze with our pelvis. And we're going to hold the breath out for as long as it's comfortable. Breathe all the way back in, full, fill up fully, and then let go. So I'll say that again when we're doing it, but that's what we're going to be doing for the next 33 breaths. We ready?
Yes.
Great. So we're going to start by doing a deep breath in, hands together, and just chanting an Om together just to get our resonance with each other. So breathe in. And then breathe in. Breathe out. Through the mouth in. And each breath getting a little bigger on the in. A little more full on the out. Make sure breathing all the way down into the belly. And then the breath's running all the way up to the collarbones. And we're going to take the pace up. Don't be concerned if you feel tingly or weird. And slow down. Really long. And all the way out. Hands on the thighs. Squeeze out with the belly. Squeeze out with the anus and the perineum and the pelvis, and just hold out. Totally relax. Explore the empty space with no breath. Let all thought go. And then very slowly start to sip in. Breathe into the belly, all the way down to the toes. Breathe in, keep breathing. Fill the whole chest. Top of the head. Totally full. Breathe in a bit more. And then just let it go. Just breathe normally for a minute. Check into the sensations in your body. See if your mind feels a little quieter. Allow your body to be still. And now we're going to do a little sort of mini grounding. So we're going to start just right here. Let your awareness open up a corridor of space beneath you down into the center of the earth. So just imagine that your mind can make the earth transparent underneath you. There's a corridor of space opening up, hundreds, thousands of feet deep beneath you, miles deep, tens, hundreds of miles deep, thousands of miles, and just connected to the very center of the earth. Just an imagination practice, but it's also real. Let everything else fall away. Feel the weight and the vast size of the earth that you're sitting on. Invite your body to let that experience in, the experience of being held by the ground. Now bring your attention to your body. Feel it completely relaxed and held by the earth. If any place of tension in your body, just let it relax right now. You won't fall off your cushion, and if you do, it's only a couple feet. So your attention's in your body, body resting on the earth. And now start breathing into your body. Deep breaths. And with your mind, imagine that you're breathing through your nose and down. When you breathe, you're breathing right down into the center of the earth. Feel that connection. Feel like every cell in your body is receiving the breath. And then just let your whole mind just rest onto the breath. Feeling the in-breath, feeling the out-breath. So you may have thoughts, you may have other things coming up. Just don't worry about them. Let your mind rest on the breath. And we can do this the other way as well. So now bring your attention even a little bit more into your own awareness. being aware of what you can see, being aware of what you can feel. Let that awareness just rest on your breath. Rising and falling, warm and cold in the nose. And then let your breath and your mind fully penetrate your body. And then feel your body extend to include the whole earth. And then come back to the room. I just want a quick round of, did people experience a shift in consciousness or not? And if so, what did you experience just in that moment, those moments of connecting the mind, the breath, the body, and the earth? Hands up, anyone. Hayden?
Just like a quieting and like a integrating or a coherence.
Thank you.
Yeah.
Kristen?
Yeah, just a complete stillness and sort of awareness of my entire body.
Thank you. Laurie or man, anything?
I was envisioning, I was visualizing low state type morning.
So we're going to do that again. We're going to do some deeper practice, connecting with each of those grounds, and then come back and do this again afterwards. And I want to and let's see how that shifts afterwards. Again, the mind's going to keep running, and there's nothing wrong with what the mind is seeing or feeling or experiencing. But what we're looking for here is the experience that's in the gaps between the thoughts, because that's kind of the background against which the foreground of all of our thoughts and experience sits. We're trying to strengthen and ground that background. Right, so we're going to move into lying down. And so lying down posture is, as we know, we have our feet apart and our knees together. And so our legs are sort of resting on each other. You can have a cushion under your head or just have it flat on the floor. And you have your left hand on your belly and your right hand over the left. So there's a couple reasons we meditate in the lying down posture. One is that practically it's a really good way to relax and open, and it increases the sense of our body's connection with the earth. And really the connection with the earth is the key thing to opening up the depth of all the other practices. There's a second reason, which is that our consciousness, we can imagine our mind as being like a tower block of many floors. And it seems like every year we get older, there's another floor that gets built on the building. But really, and we tend to live in the top floor penthouse, but all of our ages are actually present in us. Your 5-year-old girl or 13-year-old boy or hungry crying infant the memories are present in your mind and in your cells. And all those pieces of our consciousness participate in how we experience life day by day. So when we lie down, it gives us an opportunity to access our infant consciousness. Because as infants, we lay down a lot and we really didn't do much sitting up or walking around. And so it gives us kind of like root level access to our consciousness to start to rewire it into a more open and grounded and empowered state. So with that said, firstly, let's just check into our posture. Make sure the feet are firmly planted on the floor. The soles are touching the ground. Your knees are resting on each other. If that's hard because your hips are tight, we can get yoga straps and tie them around knees next time. Feel the place where your sacrum and the back of your buttock area is touching the ground. Depending on your shape, it may be bones or muscle there. Feel your lower back in contact with the ground. It's one of the reasons we lift up the knees is because that supports the lower back having contact with the ground. Check into the shoulders and the head. Feel how everything's supported. And then just let yourself rest on the earth. Become aware of your breath. We can just start by trying to tame the mind a little bit and bring it into a relationship with the breath. So feel your in-breath. Feel the cold in your nostrils. Feel the heat on the out-breath. Feel the in-breath. And the out-breath. And kind of let the breath be the center of your attention. Kind of like there's a TV screen right at the center of your nose, where your breathing is coming in and out. Just every breath, let the rest of your mind subside. And know that your goal right now is to attend to right now. Feeling the breath. Is it all coming through your nose or is it coming through your mouth? Is it through both nostrils or just one? Be curious. curious like your life depended on it. Are there hairs in my nose? Can they feel the air moving in and out? I'm going to expand the attention a little bit. And now we're going to attend to the breath between the tip of the nostril and the back of the throat. All of our attention now is on the breathing. How does it move through our mouth? Do my teeth feel a little cool on the in-breath? Relaxing the face around the breath. Is there tension in the palate, in the jaw, in the face? Can we let the breath be the center of our life right now? Mentally put all the other apps on Do Not Disturb. The Am I Doing This Right app. The What Am I Doing Next app. The What's It Gonna Feel Like Later app. Put all of those on Do Not Disturb. Just be right with the sensations of the breath. I want you to see if you can stay completely with the breath from the beginning of an in-breath until the end of the out-breath. So on the next breath, stay continuously with the breath all the way through. Take a little break and do it again. Continuous doesn't mean no thoughts or sensations arise. Continuous just means you're staying with your attention. Imagine it's the most amazing first date of your life. You're transfixed by the breath. Just like you'd be transfixed by the attention of your date. And the thoughts can be like noises going on in the restaurant and other tables and waiters going by. You know how to focus on what matters to you. So let that be the breath right now. And then we're gonna, on the next breath, we're gonna try and stay with the breath for 3 breaths. Counting 1 on the in and the out, and then 2, and then 3. If we can stay continuously, closely glued to the experience of the breath. As is happening in the nostrils and the tip of the nostrils. in the nasal cavity, in the back of the throat. It's coming through the mouth as well as the nose. Feel it in the lips, in the teeth, in the tongue. Let the experience be richer. Feeling the silkiness of the breath. And then on your next count of 3, allow yourself to include the experience of the lungs, the trachea. Feel the breath as it flows down, all the way down. Feel the diaphragm pulling down. And then all the way back up again. You're still aware of the sensations in your nose, in your throat, letting your body relax around them. Those sensations are flowing down into your chest, all the way into your lung. And on the next in-breath, I want you to let your belly lift your hands on the in-breath and let them fall on the out-breath. And you're going to let the experience of the breath fill the entire cavity of the body. So we started with making the mind one with the breath. Letting the mind pour into its relationship with the breath as it comes in and out. Turning up the gain on the body sensations of breathing. Letting everything else subside and relax. And now we're extending this living sensation of the breath. Deeper and larger each breath into the body. Now we're going to do a little trick in a second with our imagination. And so when I say, we're all going to breathe out together and then breathe in together. And on the in-breath, we're going to breathe. We're going to breathe all the way down and imagine that our lungs extend right into the tips of our toes. And as we start breathing, we're going to fill up our toes with air, and then our feet, and then our legs, and our hips, and our belly, and our lungs, the top of our head. Then we breathe out. We're going to breathe out from the top of our head all the way down to our feet. And while that isn't true in our physical anatomy, it's a little bit more than imagination if you can feel it. There is a sensation that is real, the whole body filling with breath. So together, let's all breathe out together. And then breathe in like you're filling up from the bottom of your toes. Filling up your feet and your legs. Bottom of your torso. Up to the top of the head. And then just let it all go. Let's do that a few times. It's kind of like the body's a balloon. And the breath starts filling out the balloon from the feet. If you ever blow up those balloons, they get turned into party animals. And the breath starts in one end, and it starts to blow out to fill up the whole balloon. So imagine that's your feet as you're breathing in. The feet are filling up with air. And then your ankles, your calves, your knees, your thighs, your hips. The body's filling up, and all the way up to the shoulders, the fingers, and the top of your head. Then on the out breath, you just want to relax. And let every part of your body that you touch let go its tension. You're going to keep doing this. If your mind's racing, moving, just kind of mentally invite it to slow down. Let more of your attention be on your breath and your body. And as always, when I'm giving instructions, the most important thing is that you're present with the general direction and feeling of the practice. If you have to choose between your mind just being with the breath, feeling the breath as it opens out the body, but the toes are confusing, and it just feels too much to try to feel your toes and your feet, your hips and things. Better just to stay with what feels good and right to you. So feeling the breath, filling the body. I want us to breathe in really quite forcefully on the next few in-breaths. And use our mind to squeeze the breath on the in-breath all the way out to the tips of every finger, the tips of every toe, the tips of the ears and the chin. It's experienced like we're a balloon being filled up by the breath. Now we're going to do a few more breaths like we did in the sitting position. They're a little bit faster and more forceful. And on the in-breath, each in-breath, we're going to breathe in fully all the way to the tips of our toes and the top of our head. And on the out-breath, we're going to let go. And imagine on the out-breath, our tension is just pouring out from us down into the earth. And do like another 30 or so of these like we did before. So we're going to all breathe out together. Let's take a little in-breath. Breathe out together. The sigh. And then in and out. Really quite forceful. Tingling's good. Lengthen the breath as much as you can. Slow it down even more. And then really slow for the last 3. And tingling, let yourself tingle, let the body fill up with tingling. Full as you can, one last in-breath. Squeeze the air into any cavities. Let it all out, slow and together, pouring out down into the earth. Then hold it out. If you get freaked out down here, you can just do a couple little tiny sips of breath. Relax your nervous system. And then get used to the feeling of having no breath in you at all. Feeling any pulsing. Really, really let your attention be on the fullness of your nervous system. And together we're going to breathe in, really fill up now. Feel all the tension, all the sensation in all your body. breath fill any tired muscles, tired bones. And on the out breath, just kind of unzip your body and let all of that pour down into the ground about a foot beneath you. Breathing in again. And then let your awareness and your breath pour down into the ground 4 or 5 feet. Just keep doing this. And you'll find that your experience of your body, the sensation of your body, expands. Your body's not just 5 or 6 feet of meat lying on the ground. Your body includes the space behind you. On the in-breath, feeling into your physical body. On the out-breath, letting yourself pour down into the earth and take your tension with it. See if this is easier in some parts of your body than the other. Right now, my lower back, my sacrum feel totally open. When I breathe out, I can just feel the earth under me as a piece of my body. But my skull feels a bit closed. My sensations are seen in my head. What I'm going to do on the next out breath, imagine that I'm opening curtains, and the curtains are the back of my skull. It's almost like my hands are taking 2 curtains of bone and flesh and opening them. So my skull, my brain, my mind is wide open to the ground. On the next out breath, letting my tension drain out, pour out, release out down into the ground. Start to be aware on the next out breath. It's not just me making an experience, pushing something down into the earth. Feel the active intelligence of the earth pulling down your sensation, your tension into it. There's a loving presence in the earth. It doesn't want you to suffer. It doesn't want you holding on to any of your pain, your tension, your stories, your fear. You surrender into that on the next out breath. Still taking a full breath into the physical body. Each in-breath, we're inviting more cells in our muscles and our bones, in our blood vessels and our nerves and our fascia to participate in this opening. And each out breath, we're just letting ourselves just melt and open and pour down even more into the earth. Really want to make sure you feel an established sense of the ground underneath you. The ways that it is and also is not separate from your physical body. We know they're not the same thing, and yet in the mind we feel the place that they are. And we're all going to take one more out breath together, so breathe in. Let ourselves just breathe out, pour down, down, down. Breathe in together. And hold it in for a little bit. And on the next out breath, we're just going to open all the gates. We're going to remove any barrier at 6 feet down. And on the next out breath, we're just going to let go and imagine that we're falling down into the earth. I'm going to say 1, 2, 3, go. When I say go, just breathe out and imagine you're falling. 1, 2, 3, go. As you're falling, see your body start to disappear up above you. Feel the sensation of falling down, down, down into the earth. There's a corridor of space that's opened up. We're safely falling down into that corridor of space. Feel we're at least 20 feet down, maybe 50, maybe 100 feet down. And as we're falling, it's kind of like we're on a magic carpet falling down and we're totally safe. Actually feeling our safety increase as the earth is pulling us down into our core. We feel the safety of our body on the surface. The safety of his being, our being as it keeps falling down. If you lose the visualization, just come back to it. If the visualization's hard, just imagine that the floor that you're lying on now is a magic carpet. Feel the sensation of your body on that magic carpet and feel that magic carpet as it's falling down. Feel the air rushing up around you. You're deeper, deeper down now. Thousands of feet, miles. Soil's long gone. Deep into the rock, the bedrock. You're totally safe. The heat's increasing and building around you. Falling faster now. faster and faster, miles and miles, flowing miles every second now, faster than a jet plane. And as you're falling, deep into the earth, let your breath be connected to this experience. Falling and filling on the in-breath, falling and releasing on the out-breath. Let everything else drop away. Feel your mind's utter commitment to be merged and present with the breath. Feeling the breath's utter commitment to be merged and present with the body. Mind permeating every cell. Any final tension that's in your body, release the mind and your breath. They have the power now to release any tension. Letting your mind and your body and your breath be merged with this experience of falling. Complete relaxation of the body, like you've never felt before, is accessible from within this falling state. Your mind doesn't have to do anything, but realize that it has been causing your body's tension. It's been restricting your breath. So when your mind surrenders into the freedom of your breath swirls around every cell in your body. Your body falls down into the earth. Everything can be open. So falling faster now. Let yourself be fully committed. Take any part that wants to fidget, that wants to distract, and wants to attend to anything other than falling and opening. And let those thoughts and sensations be tiny and just caught up inexorably in the vastness of your falling into space. Be aware of the depth and the vastness beneath you that you're falling into. And like the largest cavern you could ever imagine, broader, deeper, wider, it's safer, as familiar as your mother's womb. as warm and nurturing as the fluid you grew in. And we're going to do a little attentional focus on the perineum as we're lying here and falling here. So keep the sense of space, keep the sense of falling. Keep the awareness in your body. Just breathe your in-breath with a little focus into the space between your anus and your genitals. It's called the perineum. Invite that space to open and to relax. You may find some tingling or some sensations. When you do, that's perfectly okay. This perineal area, called the root chakra by the mystics. This is the part of the body that is most open to the timeless center of the earth. So as you fall on your magic carpet, as your body opens up more and more and more, the breath slows down. As the mind sits on the breath, as gently and with as much presence as you kiss the head of a baby. Let your perineum is completely relaxed. Let your breath come into it. You feel any sensations or tingling. And freedom to open and expand and open that space. If there's any discomfort, let that discomfort be held by the vast space of the earth. Just breathe in and feel your whole body as a corridor of space. Falling down into the depths. And as you fall, as we fall, we're going to start to feel a tingling and a heat on our back. So we're falling and approaching the core of the earth. This is the magnetic and spiritual core of our whole lives, without which we can never truly be connected to the ground, to our purpose, to each other, to God, to Spirit. everything starts with our connection to this core. So let yourself imagine as you're falling down towards a blazing star. That blazing star is made of heat, of light, of love. And your body is completely open and penetrated by it. Check into your body on the surface. Let every cell open itself up. Be nourished by the root of all life. Then however much effort you're putting in mentally to do this practice, you take down that effort by 50%. Stay with the sensation of falling. And experience the core of the earth. Stay with the sensation of the breath in your being. Stay with relaxation. Be lighter with your touch. And then again, take your attention down by another 50%. Or rather, take your effort down by another 50%. So your awareness is just happening without effort. And then let your effort be as minimal as it can be while you're still staying here. With every cell connected to heat, to light, to love from the depths of the earth. And rest here. From this resting place, being aware of the room around you. Aware of the people in the streets outside, going on with their life. Staying anchored in yourself. Soft perineum, soft belly, soft heart, soft shoulders, soft head. Really letting the mind rest on the breath with utterly no gap between them. letting the breath in to penetrate the body with no gap. Really letting the body in to penetrate the earth with no gap. And feeling the breath fully connected with the earth. And the mind connected with the body. And the mind connected with the earth. And slowly letting our eyes open about an eighth of the way. Letting in a little light. Staying wide open. Say to yourself, I am grounded. I am one with the earth. And imagine what it would feel like to be this open, this resourced in our daily life. Let the eyes quarter open. Be aware of the tendency to leave, to fixate on a thing in the room, to let a new thought come in that will transfix and grab your attention as if it means something. Just stay. Being aware of being aware. Being aware of the breath. Aware of the body. Aware of the earth. Now letting the eyes open fully. Taking your time to gently, slowly, staying with yourself, come back up into a seated position. Want to acknowledge that went longer than I thought it did, and I wasn't watching the clock. Let's just stay here in the timeless for a moment. Feeling the body. feeling the ground. Breathing in. As we breathe out, letting our awareness open all the way to the depths of the earth. Setting an intention to keep coming back to this ground during the week. Feeling the openness, the body sits on the earth. Feeling the expanse of the breath in the body. Feeling the mind rising and falling with the breath. And then letting the mind open like the sky. So just imagine the entire openness of heaven above you. Left hand to the heart, right hand to the left. And we'll put our thumbs down and just do this all together. Laurie, we're waiting for you just to bow out together. And then let's bow. Thank you. And then let's wiggle our fingers, rub our hands together, feel a little bit of warmth coming into the hands. Use our hands to touch our body, bring our bodies back into present. Wiggle our legs and toes. Invite ourselves fully back into the room. And then if anyone, again, it is 11:27. I'm sorry, my phone ran out of juice and didn't ping me, or 12:27 in Eastern time. If anyone has to run, please run. Otherwise, let's just take a little moment to share before we close the circle. Kristen, how are you doing?
Good. I found myself getting distracted, but I kept coming back. So.
Distracted by what?
By thoughts, just thoughts.
Yeah. They'll do